Hello and welcome back to another chapter of Can I Kiss You, written by me, Stacey Holt. Artwork was by ccerealbowl. You can find her links below. Marinette, your friends are here. Thanks, Mom. Marinette walked over, hearing the footsteps getting closer. She opened the door and found Nathaniel and Adrian smiling up at her. She waved them inside her bedroom and shut the door behind them. Marinette then walked over to her swirly chair that was near her working desk while Adrian found himself on a rather familiar chaise. Nathaniel pulled up another chair near the end of the desk and pulled it forward to sit in the middle. "All right, what did you all come up with?" Marinette asked, grabbing her sketchbook from behind her on the desk. "I'm not an artist, but here's mine." Adrian pulled out a sketch pad, and it had some more or less terrible drawings of some fashion designs. "I'm not very good at drawing, sorry." Adrian smiled apologetically. "No, they're good. As long as you get your idea across, that's the main thing." Marinette smiled politely. "Yeah, Adrian, not everyone can be great at everything." Nathaniel smiled. Adrian smiled awkwardly and rubbed the back of his neck, then shut his sketchbook, a little embarrassed than anything. Adrian watched as Nathaniel and Marinette got along super well, and that was amazing and all, but something felt bitter to him. Why did he not like it? Why did he get kind of upset when Nathaniel joined them? He wanted it to be just him and Marinette. Nathaniel was an awesome person. He didn't want to be mean to him. Was he jealous? Pfft, why would he be jealous of him? Marinette was his girlfriend after all. Wait, didn't Nathaniel have a crush on Marinette? Oh no. Why did he have to think about that now? That made things just about 100 times worse. "Adrian, are you alright?" Marinette asked, waving her hand in front of his face. "Oh, yeah, just fine. Just zoned out for a second." He laughed awkwardly. "Well, we need to draw more ideas, I think. This was a good start, but..." Nathaniel started. "The more ideas and sketches we come up with, the better chance of winning we have. I had so many, but couldn't get them all down on paper in time. Want to meet back here tomorrow?" Nathaniel interrupted. "I'm okay with that. We can use class time." Marinette smiled. Before Adrian knew it, they were packing up their things and leaving. He barely had any time with Marinette. What had happened when he zoned out? Well, I guess it wasn't all bad. He had hours before he had to be home for dinner because of school hours, so he could visit Marinette as Cat Noir, his girlfriend. Nathaniel waved him goodbye, and Adrian quickly made his way into a nearby alley to transform. He hopped his way down her ladder and found himself laying on her bed again, noticing that she kept his note on her board. He heard her coming back up the stairs, unaware that he was there. She walked over to her desk and then picked up her sketchbook. She fell into her stomach on her chaise and started sketching inside of it. Cat crept down the ladder, trying to be as quiet as possible, and made his way over to the chaise where Marinette was laying. He looked over her shoulder and saw her ideas for the project on the left side, but on the right side, she was starting to sketch another piece of fabric that didn't seem to match the assignment. "Hey there, princess. What are you doing?" Cat said in her ear, causing her to scream. She shot up, causing her to bump her head on his chin. "Ouch," Cat said, rubbing his chin. Sorry. You just scared me," Marinette said, turning around. "It's alright. My bad." Cat chuckled, glancing over to her sketchbook that was laying on the ground now. Oh, don't look at that!" "Now I really want to know." Cat wiggled his eyebrows and tried to reach for it. Marinette extended her arms away from him, but soon remembered that he had complete control over his tail and had taken it from her hands. He slid the sketchbook down his tail into his hands and jumped away from Marinette, away from her reach, seeing her pout. If he wasn't so curious to see what was inside, he would have loved to soak up the blush and watch her face turn red. Whatever it was, it had to be interesting. He flipped through the pages of color and stopped at one that caught his eye. It was a picture of him. It had a few question marks around him, though. "Are you curious to know my identity or something?" Cat smirked. "No! I wanted your measurements," Marinette said, turning away. "My what?" Cat took a few steps closer and leaned in her ear. "What was that?" I couldn't quite hear you. He smiled, blinking several times to give her an innocent act. Ugh, your measurements, you dumb cat. I wanted to make you something. She rolled her eyes, pushing his face away. It was going to be a surprise. Make me something? He said, his eyes widening at the thought. Yeah, can a girlfriend not make her boyfriend something? Marinette glanced over, seeing him excited like a child. Well, at least I know you're interested in it. Kat jumped toward her and held his arms out for her to measure him, causing her to laugh. She picked up the measuring tape, and as she started to measure him, he didn't think at first it was such an intimate thing, but now to him, it did. She was so close to him. He could feel her fingertips against his suit. Her face was so close to his as she glided around him gracefully. There, all done, Marinette smiled. Really? He said, stuttering, still recovering from the thoughts of her being so close to him. That's it? Yeah. Also, I was wondering something. How long were you here before I noticed? Marinette looked at him. Oh, not long. You came up and laid down on the chaise. He smiled nervously. You could have made things complicated. I had friends over earlier. What was I supposed to tell them if a superhero showed up? Marinette sighed, sitting back down on the chaise. We're dating? Kat said. Marinette looked at him with glaring eyes. I'm kidding. He laughed. I don't think that would happen though. I look before I enter. He smiled, puffing his chest to try and seem mighty. Uh-huh. Just like how you looked before you came in here while I was getting out of the shower. Marinette smacked her face. At least I had a towel on. Good point. I look most of the time. Kat thought back and shrugged, agreeing with her, both a little red-faced at the thought. Kat walked over and sat down on the chaise beside her, smiling at her intently. What, Kat? So, who were they? He smiled. My friends? Yeah. Wait, are you jealous? Marinette said, raising her eyebrow. Huh? Of course not. What makes you think that? Kat stuttered, turning his face away. It was Nathaniel and Adrian. Marinette laughed and rested her head on her hands that were propped on her knees, smiling contently watching Kat try to deny his jealousy. Isn't that the boy you had a crush on? And isn't Nathaniel the boy who had a crush on you? Kat turned to look at her. Marinette thought for a moment. I guess you're right. Huh? You mean she didn't even think of that? Did she just forget about him getting akumatized into a Villustrator? He thought, a little taken back. Ugh. He would have to keep an eye on Nathaniel to make sure he didn't have any funny ideas about his girlfriend. Does that bother you, kitty? Marinette said, smirking. Of course not. Kat swallowed and shook his head. Just text or call before you come over from now on, okay? Marinette smiled. As you wish, princess. Kat smiled, kissing her cheek. Marinette! Sabine yelled from below. Both Kat and Marinette turned their heads, hearing Marinette's mother call for her. Yes, Mom? A boy is coming up. He says he forgot his sketchbook. Before they had any time to hide Cat Noir, Nathaniel popped his head into her room. Nathaniel! Hi! Marinette said, looking awkwardly at him, and then to Cat Noir. Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. Are you in danger of an Akuma, or a friend of Cat Noir? Nathaniel smiled. We're Cat started, but Marinette shoved him off the chaise to cut him off. We're designing! I saw him and really needed help. Marinette laughed nervously. Isn't that cheating? Nathaniel said. It's okay, his ideas were kinda terrible. He was just leaving anyway. Right, Cat Noir? Marinette glared. Cat sat up and groaned, rubbing the back of his neck, then nodded. Yeah, I was. See you guys later. He jumped up on the balcony and acted like he had left. I wonder if she wanted me to leave or not. I'll wait until he leaves, and if she really wants me to leave, then I will. If she doesn't want me to leave, then I'll stay for dinner. Can't beat a homemade dinner. Wait, what? Why is Nathaniel and Marinette on the balcony? This is a nice spot for drawing, he smiled. You can see a lot from up here. Yeah, this is where I do most of my drawing of landscapes of Paris and get most of my inspiration, Marinette smiled. Marinette? Yeah? This may be a little off topic, but about earlier, it sounded like Cat Noir was gonna say you two were dating, Nathaniel said. Dating? No, not at all. Why would a superhero date a civilian? Silly. Marinette laughed nervously. So, then you aren't seeing anyone? Nathaniel asked, turning to look at Marinette. What? Marinette asked. What I mean is, do you like anyone? Nathaniel blushed. Like anyone? Yeah, like, are you seeing anyone romantically? I still have a crush on you from early high school. Would you want to get some lunch and see a movie sometime? Marinette, tell him you're dating me. Come on, please. I don't care if it's right or not. Just get rid of this guy. Cat grit his teeth as he bit down on his tail, talking to himself while watching. I can't, Nathaniel. Marinette started. Do you not like me? Not into movies? You can pick where we eat lunch, Nathaniel said, looking disappointed. I like you as a friend, and you're an awesome person, really. I just like someone else. Marinette blushed. It's Adrian, isn't it? It's pretty obvious. Nathaniel frowned. Really? Can everyone see it but me? Ugh, I'm such a loser, Cat whispered to himself. No, it's someone else, Marinette said. Is it Luca? He asked. No. Fine, you don't have to tell me or explain anything. Thanks for letting me get my sketchbook. I'll see myself out. Nathaniel smiled, though she could see he was visibly hurt. Marinette frowned, sliding over so Nathaniel could climb back down the ladder to leave. She sighed and walked over to the railing. She watched as Nathaniel left through the front door and called a taxi, then drove off toward his own home. This was such a messy night, she said to herself, groaning. I agree, Cat said. Huh? Marinette screamed, turning around to see Cat standing behind her.